Happy New Year and welcome to this final episode of Trendz Travel for 2017. We're bringing you this beautiful show from the gorgeous mountains of the Golden Gate National Park in the Free State. But however, we are kicking off the show with food and music in Shopville. Coming up next on Trendz Travel this week, food and fun in Shopville. We then visit our wonderful neighbors in Botswana. We go paintballing in Libya. And finally, we look at beautiful African fabric. All this and so much more coming right up. The Shopville Food Festival has quickly earned its fair share of buzz as one of South Africa's coolest music and food events. Since its announcement a few months ago through various social platforms, the festival, which features many food stalls, a beverage garden, and live music entertainment, got food and music lovers across the country talking and sharing the exciting news. We were invited to this bright and exciting event.
Outdoor food and lifestyle events are a big thing in the summer. Today we are in Shopville for awesome food and of course cocktails.
The festival was held at the iconic Chobe Stadium, and organizers said it would be the kickstart of their groundbreaking initiative of rebranding the township, which is well known for its brutal 1960 massacre.
Today we are here to celebrate Shopville. The idea behind the Shopville Food Festival was that it started when Romeo Malepe, he started Googling Shopville because there's always Soweto and there's other places that are expressed in a much more enthusiastic, exciting light like they're in. And then the whole idea of Soweto, why it got the attention is because of the history, the past that it shares. What people don't know is that Shopville also shares some of that past, but then a lot of the time it's negative. So instead of looking up Shopville and finding Shopville massacre and all of that, he thought, you know, why don't I go around and take photos and speak to people, you know, have something that's much more fun and vibey. Why not? Why isn't it? Why don't people know about it? And it's actually very alive. It's quite alive. I haven't personally gone enough and seen. I felt like I needed to explore more of it. So he came about and decided, you know what, let's do the Shopville Food Festival. He's all about food, he's all about music. So he thought, let's marry the two. You have food, you have music, let's do this and get people out there. The turnout is pretty good. I was a bit nervous, you know, because you're thinking the weather, you're thinking are people going to receive it, but I was receiving photos of people showing me 20 tickets, you know, saying we're coming there, you know, so it's great, it's amazing. I just feel like it has a lot of potential. People are looking for places to go, and why not in your backyard? You know, Shopville is here. You don't need to be driving out far just to, and also to bring in people into Shopville and to see that it's not scary. There's people here. There's a diverse type of people and culture, and why not come out and see what we have in store? You know, I grew up here. And I actually feel like I need to be seeing more. I didn't know that people were still this colorful here instead of going to other places, you know. So I'm excited. I'm happy for him. I'm proud. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Thanks. That fit is fun. People need to eat healthier, but also have fun, you know, and that's what we're out here for fun and wholesome food.
We are at @_lemix, right? We are a group of guys that do alcoholic and non-alcoholic cocktails, right? And we're here to showcase our talent. Okay, basically what we have here, we've got jelly babies that have been sitting in gin and vodka, right? And with jelly as well, and we just frozen them. These are called Tikka Bombs. They just explode in your mouth. People are generally liking our Tikka Bombs, right? And our gin mixed with lemon, a slice of lemon, a slice of cucumber as well, and either with soda water or with tonic water.
Right now I'm with Lerato. Lerato, what are you making for me today?
I'm from a company called The Flavor Chick. What I'm doing today is I've got 2 types of wraps. I've got chicken wraps, we've got roti, and then we've got a prego sauce on there, and we've got, for some greenery, we've got lettuce, and then some rum strips which we grill first, and then we've got caramelized onions and a choice of 3 sauces and cheese.
So would you classify your food as junk or health meals?
I would say it's street food. You know, sometimes when we go out, this is not a time, at a food festival, it's not a time to diet, you know? So I will not say it's your gym bunny food, but it's your comfort food. For, you know, after working hard all week and you go out, this is the stuff that you would eat. But it's all natural ingredients. I don't skip processes. I don't use anything like the garlic that I used for my prego sauce. I never use like processed garlic. Everything is scratch made. I don't. So in a way, and canola oil. So in a way, you could say it's healthy. It's not the healthiest health that you could eat every day, but it's not gonna, you know, get you to hospital.
This is the Black Shed. It's a wonderful, lovely food truck that we started about 5 months ago. And basically, I just, you know, I had a look at the market, and I figured I think there's a space for food trucks, and there's a great deal of appetite. Excuse the pun for food trucks, you know. And it's a fast-growing industry in South Africa. I think people get to enjoy the food, etc.
The concept behind Black Power is exactly what it is. It's power for black people. You know, like for years we haven't seen the power in us as black people. We haven't supported each other. We haven't seen opportunities to sell our own brands. We're always buying brands from outside South Africa. So this is a beginning of changing that thought that we don't need to buy stuff from outside. We can produce quality here in South Africa.
Okay, so I see all your clothes are black, literally black. Is that everything black?
Yeah. Hashtag I wear black. That's our hashtag. I love black clothes, but there are a lot of people that love the color black. It's not only clothing, it's just the color black, whether you see it conceptually as black people, as Africa, because the color black in a dictionary is, the connotations are bad, you know, so, and we were given that name, black. We are brown, we are not black. We are African, we are not black. But because that's who we've become, let's embrace that color. You know, that's the thinking behind it. And I do love the color black.
Me too.
If you've just joined us, unfortunately, you've missed out on some great food and groovy music in Shopville, but we have so much more after the break, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You can travel around the world, but nothing will ever beat a truly magical African safari. In this next segment, we visit Botswana to mingle with some majestic elephants.
Chobe National Park, located in Kasane in the northeastern part of Botswana at the border with Namibia, Zimbabwe and Zambia. This swampy inland river delta, which many has labeled paradise, is becoming a major tourist attraction in the SADC region. Here you can experience a true African wildlife safari. This place is home to the fish eagle, the big five, and a range of other animals, including reptiles, birds, and other species.
There's so much that the world can get to see when they visit this country. Open skies, vast open wilderness, beautiful landscapes, friendly people, the wilderness, and everything that one would want to see in a nature-based destination.
One of the highlights about Chobe at the border with Namibia's Caprivi Strip, is being able to go on river safaris, and just minutes into it, we spot at least 3 of the big 5. They include heads of the majestic elephants, with one of them engaged in a tough war with the crocodile. On the other side of the river, the Cape buffalo, soaking in the hot Chobe sun, while the hippos remained slightly submerged amid spectators. But is the African elephant that remained the biggest attraction here.
It is overwhelming, actually. It's so beautiful that one cannot really understand what's going on. I mean, you see all these elephants, they are just like 50 meters away from us. And so many, and I just, I know them from the zoo, but not from nature, and there are so many, so it's just overwhelming.
It's mind-blowing. I mean, in comparison to what we go through in Johannesburg, it only dawned on me when I get here that I needed some environment that is very serene, and this is exactly what I'm getting here.
As Botswana diversifies its economy, it's embarked on a major drive to attract more tourists. After diamond mining, at 18% to the GDP, tourism is the second biggest contributor to the country's economy.
Leadership took a decision to ensure that we conserve what we have as a country. And behind this leadership is a set of well-committed tour operators in the industry that also do everything to ensure that the resource on which they depend is well conserved and heritage preserved.
It's an industry that's creating many jobs in the country. Shah Naz, our guide for the day, is one of the beneficiaries. At least more than 25,000 people in Botswana are employed in the travel and tourism sector.
What I really like about this job is you meet so many people, different people, you gain different experiences every day, and this actually helped me because at first I was actually a short-tempered person, but this molded me to learn how to be patient.
And as the day drew to a close, everyone on our river safari was left feeling that this is a park that should be preserved for generations to come. It's all about sustainable conservation so that the beauty of Chobe National Park, its fauna and flora, can be shared with the rest of the world. It's day 2 of our visit to the Chobe National Park. After the river safari, we are now on a game drive, hoping to spot the rest of the big 5. After seeing the Cape buffalo, the elephant and the hippo the day before, game drives normally start at the crack of dawn. It's a place where animals are known to roam free. And minutes into our game drive, we witness a pride of 3 lions on a hunt, pursuing one of their favorite prey, the antelope. But in true antelope style, it was just too smart for the pride. Around here, you can view lions and other game in their natural environment, sometimes even coming as close as 40 meters. Botswana has been commended for its conservation efforts.
Botswana has done this very successfully, striking a balance between some attracting tourists, but on an exclusive basis, not too many, and also protecting the wildlife probably better than any other place in Africa. And that's very promising for Botswana and is an important source of revenue for the Botswanian economy.
With one of the highest elephant populations in Africa, every morning the Chobe River, which flows from Angola, serves as a major drinking hole. And every morning you are more than likely to bump into elephant heads rushing downstream to quench their thirst and graze on the lush grass. For now, it's hoped that the country's conservation efforts will help attract more tourists. Accessing this park is easy. SAA and Air Botswana have daily flights between Johannesburg and Kasane. Chobe is also easily accessible by road. When you are here, you can literally step into 4 countries in one day in what's called a quadripoint, or a point where 4 borders meet. You can wake up in Botswana, have breakfast in Zambia, do lunch in Zimbabwe, and spend the night in Namibia. It's for this reason that the construction of a multi-billion rand rail and road bridge project is underway. Upon completion in December 2018, the Kazungula Bridge project will expedite the movement of SADC people, goods and services. Presently, they depend on ferry pontoons to carry people, goods and services across the Zambezi River.
It should have happened. This project should have taken place a long time ago. But I don't know. You know, I don't know what is wrong with the people that we entrust with this people running our government. But I'm happy that it has taken place at such a time like this one. And my appeal to the peoples of the nations concerned, that they should look after these facilities jealously.
Upon its completion, the bridge will be a key route linking the Durban harbour to at least 7 SADC countries, stretching up to Tanzania and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's for this reason that the government of Botswana and Zambia have entered into a partnership to make the construction of the bridge a reality.
For the region, I think it will really help a lot in terms of easy movement of tourists who are coming to the southern block of this region, and also be able to utilize, the larger transfrontier conservation area that we have in this area. So the natural resources, the wildlife.
Botswana also held a global trade expo recently. As the country diversifies its economy, opportunities for attracting foreign direct investment are being created. The expo was opened by the country's vice president.
Botswana has duty-free and quota-free access into the European Union, which literally means that you can manufacture and export any product into the European Union. I wish, therefore, to encourage all of you to invest in Botswana in order to take advantage of such unparalleled market access.
It was a platform where budding and experienced entrepreneurs alike could market their products to the world. Among those who caught the attention of many was Kalahari Secrets. The company produces cosmetics from donkey milk.
The donkey is very special because even in ancient African history, Queen Cleopatra used to bath with the soap. Even traditionally in our community, we used to drink donkey milk not to get sick.
Products which some people are prepared to consider.
One of the products that stood out for me is the donkey milk soap, which apparently has cosmetic properties in it. It stood out for me because it has a lot of calcium as well, apparently. And I think I will be using it so that my skin continues to glow.
We need to close the gap. Let us help our African brothers and sisters, even Botswana, to look beautiful, natural beauty.
As for the highlight of the expo, was an event titled In Conversation with Richard Branson. The British billionaire was in town to share his expertise and to inspire young entrepreneurs. He's concerned about the plight of young people.
You've got wonderfully well-educated people. Incredible how well you all speak the language I speak. It's wonderful to be able to communicate with pretty well anybody in Botswana. But the challenge is finding really exciting, useful work for the people who, the large majority of young people in Botswana.
After his address, young entrepreneurs were left inspired.
I've been following Sir Richard Branson's work, and I felt that looking at how he started from humble beginnings and where he is right now, he on his own, his story is just a force to reckon with. I felt that it's quite inspirational, so I figured that this is an opportunity that I should not miss. I must come and hear from the horse's mouth.
Botswana may be a small country, but it's looking at other sources of the economy to make a global impact.
One of the things I think we need to really look at as a game changer as Botswana is to really look at how we can position and use the size of Botswana very, very differently. Many people look at the size of a country as a liability. We're small, 2 million people, but there's a huge advantage in the things that we can do that larger economies and countries and even cities can't do.
For now, it's hoped that as its economy and tourism sectors continue to boom, more and more people will visit this landlocked country, home to the Big Five, the Okavango Delta and the Kalahari Desert.
We are not done yet. We still have so much more fun and adventure after the break, so stay with us. It is the festive season, and no matter the weather, people around the world are finding ways to have fun and entertain themselves.
Taking cover in a trench or behind a wall, armed men shoot at their rivals as dozens of people watch in the Libyan city of Misrata. A boy captures the action on his mobile phone as the other side retaliates, firing a volley of ammunition. This time, it's not rival groups engaged in a fight, but two sides playing paintball. The city's first paintball arena hosted a game, drawing several local men to compete.
اللعبة قصدي ممتعة واجد وترفيهية، المفروض نشجع الشباب كلهم انه قصدي يشوفوا نشاطات، يشوفوا العاب زي كي، يبدوا في مشاريع زي كي، قصدي تخلي الشباب يقضوا اوقات فراغهم في حاجة مفيدة، قصدي حاجة فيها متعة وفيها خير من حاجة ثانية.
4-player teams compete in a capture the flag game on a field half the size of a football pitch, littered with obstacles behind which players shelter. Misrata, a large commercial port about 190 kilometers east of Tripoli, is one of Libya's major military power bases, but the city itself has been largely immune from armed clashes and attacks in recent years.
ويا ريت تزيد تعم باقي الالعاب نفس البيسبول والتزلج ومدينه ملاهي، وما شاء الله نفس اللعبه هذه ما شاء الله، ولعبه سمحه وجميله وقضينا في وقتنا سمح وجميل، ويا ريت تزيد تعم باقي الالعاب نفس هذينا.
Paintball Misrata is the country's second paintball arena after Tripoli's Paintball Libya, which opened last year. Entertainment and sporting activities were minimal during the rule of Muammar Gaddafi, with football being the most popular along with the bowling early. The country has slid into turmoil after Gaddafi's overthrow, with rival governments and armed alliances competing for power. A UN-backed government in Tripoli has struggled to impose its authority and has been rejected by the factions in the east.
نشرنا الفكرة أولا على الفيسبوك، صار إقبال على اللعبة، قلنا نأسس الملعب، أسسنا الملعب في مصراتها، صار إقبال والافتتاح صار إقبال ما شاء الله وزيادة، والحجوزات من أول يوم حجوزات بإذن الله ما شاء الله كبيرة وإقبال، والشباب فرحانة وتغيير جو ونشاط رياضي يعتبر ما شاء الله، والشباب يشكروا في اللعبة وعجبهم الجو ما شاء الله.
العالم شباب كيس العالم مركيه يا اولاد من العالم احمل عجز العالم
तो दूर से लग जाएगी। डोंट गो अवे, वहां पीछे कुछ भी नहीं है जहां आप घूमने जा रहे हैं। अब यहीं रहिए मेरे पास, अभी आपको रोक के रखा है वो जो परिवार।
A food truck festival in Indian national capital showcased rich culinary offerings from across the world. The Delhi food truck, organized by the city's stadium, attracted gastronomes from across the city. As many as 30 stalls and 40 food trucks served global cuisines to visitors.
मतलब पंजाबी में दो चार गाली दे लो स्टार्टर होता है, दिल्ली में वहां बोलो कुछ नहीं होता यार, दिल्ली में आता तो स्पीड तोड़ देते आप। This boy at the back was standing. Don't look back, I'm talking to you. Nothing. What will you do here? I food trucks ready हो रहे हैं। पंजाबी बंदे का दूर से पता लग जाता है, एक ही आया होता है। 6 packs की जरूरत नहीं है। Come, you Why are you dragging the girl on stage?
On this we serve a variety of cuisine, which is international, American, Italian and Indian fusion food. Our specialty is our burgers and nano samosa, which is not nano samosa is not available anywhere in Delhi.
Loud applause. Yeah, it's a hot property now, huh? The Delhi food game. ताकि खूब सारा revenue generation हो, ताकि हम साल दर साल इसी तरह इसको biannual ना कराएं. We are starting with the bands in some time. तकरीबन 3 बजे, and it's been lovely to have you here.
It's really delicious. Food is really delicious, but a little bit costly.
A food truck owner said international cuisines, including American and Italian, were served to visitors. Besides food, live performances by musicians, games and other activities also enthralled visitors. Thousands turned out for this year's edition of the Great Ethiopian Run in Addis Ababa, an annual event that sees runners cover a 10-kilometer course through the capital. The event brought together people running for fun, as well as upcoming and professional runners as part of campaigns to raise funds for various charities and encourage people to stay fit. This 87-year-old is one of the runners who took part. Now in its 17th edition, the run, said to be Africa's biggest road race, attracted over 44,000 local and international runners. The race is also a great opportunity for scouts to spot upcoming athletes. Ethiopia, which alongside neighbor Kenya has for many years dominated distance running, had its credibility questioned earlier this year when 6 of its athletes came under investigation for doping. The East African nation is also struggling with a slump in form and won a single gold medal at last year's Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, its poorest haul since 1992. The women's category was won by Zeima Ymer, while the men's category was clinched by Solomon Berega. Both aspiring athletes who took home about $3,648 in cash prize money.
ውድድር ያው ይዘጋጃል። ደስ ይላል። ብቻ በጣም አሪፍ ነው። ያው ከዚህ የበለጠ ውድድሮች ውጭ እድል ይኖራል። አዎ አሪፍ ነው።
ሁሌ አስበዋለሁ ታላቁ ሩጫ። ያ ብዙ አትሌቶች ከዚህ በፊት እነ ኃይሌ ነገሩ ስማቸው በዚህ መዝገብ ላይ አለ። ከነሱ ደግሞ መቀላቀል በጣም ትልቅ ነገር ነው። ስሜ ሁሌ ፍላጎቴም ይሄ ነበረ። አሳክቼዋለሁ። ደስ
Organizers are planning about 14 races in parts of the country in the coming year. Over the past 5 years, the Great Ethiopian Run has supported more than 32 different organizations, raising over $360,000 US.
A winner from this race, both men and women, they are upcoming athletes. And the prize money this year is it's $100,000, which means it's a lot for these athletes. And the top three, both men and women, they are a new face. I'm so happy, just to see those athletes. In the future, we're going to have, more youngsters. And at the same time, to change the image of the country. Well, at the moment, Ethiopia is on the run, on the move, development, many other things.
We are going to break now, but when we come back, we have a fun mix of stories from around the world.
Liz Ngwane, a fashion designer in Bo, Cameroon, is working on one of her latest outfits at her store in town. The 24-year-old is known for her fashionable outfits done in traditional Togo cloth that she says are meant to promote the fabric.
That fabric represents us, Cameroon, so it's high time we start consuming our own products. So firstly, the younger generation, celebrities and every other person is trying to consume products from Cameroon, and that tells you you're a Cameroonian. You feel like, okay, let me do what others do with their own fabrics in their country. So I think that is why everybody is getting into Togo fabric and the rest. And the younger designers, and designers now are bringing so much beautiful pieces using that Togo fabric.
Togo was a preserve of royalty and dignitaries here in the past and made traditionally by communities found in northwestern Cameroon. A colorful fabric commonly done in black, gold and orange, Togo was finely embroidered in different colors that form various bold patterns. The technique has been handed down generations, and today cheaper printed versions of the cloth are now also found in the market as manufacturers take advantage of demand for Togo. Ngwane says she tries to give her designs a modern cut to attract customers looking for stylish outfits done in the fabric.
So most of people that come for their traditional weddings. Okay, artists to do that because they know they are selling out themselves to the world and they want to tell the world where they are coming from, so they come for the fabric. And also designers, it depends on the activities you want to do, like maybe when you know you're getting somewhere out of your own milieu, you want to see where you're coming from, tell people a story from your outfits, they put on Togo. So those are the type of clients that come for Togo fabric. But coming out with the collection I have calls a lot of attention. Normal girls and guys around would love to put on Togo because it's sexy.
The designer also likes to blend Togo with sheer fabrics to bring out her sometimes flamboyant creations. It is also used to make accessories and souvenirs, popular among tourists and locals. Togo is worn today by many to mark special occasions and events like weddings and other formal gatherings. The fabric is also popular outside the country, and its designs have inspired collections at various international fashion events in recent years. John Awa is a traditional elder and says the fashion sector has a key role to play in keeping Togo relevant today.
It is so important up to the level where a chief, if a prince is dedicated a chief, is restricted out of ordinary dresses, especially when there is an event, an important ceremony. It goes in Togo, nothing else but Togo. It's very, very important, very significant, because it portrays the identity of our culture.
I can't lie to you, the fabrics really they are not of high quality for the other fabrics that I use. Like when we talk about visco and the rest, they have very high quality. They are made of 100% cotton. And I'm one of that person that fights always for sustainable fabrics, like sustainable fashion, and I take into consideration fabrics. So the hidden challenge I have is this fabric. I don't really, when I send it out there, does it really meet up to the market? And another thing is scarcity, because we have it in two qualities. Yes, like there is a good quality, but even though in that quality I don't see range it that I use, and to have that quality is where I really have challenges having it.
By creating fashionable outfits and accessories, Cameroonians are able to keep an important part of their heritage alive and cash in on ancient tradition. Georgian National Museum in Tbilisi exhibited 8,000-year-old earthenware wine jars, which turned out to be the oldest known evidence for winemaking. Scientists detected telltale chemical signs of the fermented alcoholic beverage made from grapes and pottery fragments found at two sites about 30 miles south of Georgia's capital, Tbilisi. The findings show that this important cultural achievement occurred earlier than previously known in the South Caucasian region on the border of Eastern Europe and Western Asia. Until now, the oldest winemaking evidence has come from pottery in Iran, dating to 5,400 to 5,000 BC. The director of the Georgian National Museum, who helped lead the research, said large jars called kivevri, similar to the ancient ones, are still used today for winemaking in Georgia.
Now we have a combination of the evidence to say in Georgia we already had 8,000 years old winemaking culture. This is earliest wine, but it's also important to say that Georgia has uninterrupted evidence of winemaking since prehistoric time. We were producing wine, we are producing now, and we will produce.
The greyish jars, some decorated with simple images of grape clusters, were roughly 32 inches tall and 16 inches wide. Evidence of wines was spotted in 8 jars, the oldest from 5,900 BC.
აღება სანიმუშოდ და საანალიზოდ გაგზავნა შემდგომ უკვე ამერიკის ფილადელფიაში და აი ამან მოგცა შედეგი ბიომოლეკულარულად შესწავლილი იქნა ეს შიგთავსი რა უნდა ყოფილიყო და განისაზღვრა რომ აქ იყო ღვინის
The pottery was found at 2 Neolithic villages, once home to perhaps 60 people each, consisting of small mud brick houses. The villages harvested wheat, raised sheep, goat and cattle, and used simple tools made of bone and volcanic glass called obsidian.
ღვინოში ყოველთვის არის სახამებელი, ყურძნის სახამებელი, ასევე ღვინოში უნდა იყოს თვითონ ყურძნის მარცვლების ქერქის ნაშთები, ეს ყველაფერი მიკროსკოპიული რა თქმა უნდა, და კიდე ქინქლას, თქვენ იცით რომ წარმოების დროს და ღვინოს ყოველთვის ქინქლა ეხება და ქინქლა ყოველთვის ღვინოში ვარდება როგორც წესი და ქინქლას მიკრონაშთები და ძირითადად ბუსუსები გვხვდება. აი ეს ყველაფერი არის მარკერი ან არგუმენტი მძლავრი და ამიტომ ნამდვილად ეს ყველა მეთოდები გამოვიყენეთ და ნამდვილად იყო 8,000 წლის წინანდელი ღვინო, ნამდვილად იყო ჭურჭელში, ანუ ნამდვილად ჩვენ ტერიტორიაზე პირველი მეღვინეები იყვნენ.
Bolivian wines are fast becoming a presence on the world stage, thanks in part to an ancient planting method and wild swings in temperature.
You have a huge day and night difference. So if it is 25 or 30 degrees during the day, at night it could be only 5 degrees. What does this do? It gives the wines acidity, freshness. All Bolivian wines have freshness.
Some 5 million bottles of top quality wines produced in Bolivia come from a vine planting technique used by Spaniards in the Middle Ages and brought to Bolivia.
Tras unos 5 años de investigación en varias variedades de vid y sus vinos producidos a través de estos, hemos encontrado que los vinos bolivianos, en comparación con vinos producidos a partir de vides, a partir de uvas a nivel del mar, por ejemplo, entiéndase vinos franceses, españoles, inclusive vinos chilenos y argentinos, hemos encontrado que la cantidad, la concentración de resveratrol en los vinos bolivianos es mayor, significativamente mayor, puesto que los valores que hemos encontrado varían desde 3, 7 hasta 10 veces la cantidad de resveratrol presente en los vinos extranjeros.
Y Tarija debería convertirse en el próximo Napa Valley o el Sonoma Valley, que son dos valles que están al norte de California, de San Francisco, que son el núcleo de la cultura vinícola de California. Y no solo eso, sino son centros turísticos y gastronómicos. O sea, los mejores restaurantes de Estados Unidos están ahí. Tarija debería ir en esa dirección.
Bolivian physicists recently launched a study on the antioxidant levels in Bolivian grapes and wines, and they explained that this is another characteristic that makes them very unique. Much of the wine is produced in the southern Bolivian department of Tarija, and local chefs hope the new recognition of Bolivian wines will put Tarija on the map.
Los concursos que se han presentado a las diferentes empresas a nivel internacional han generado la expectativa a nivel mundial, lográndose que los vinos sean reconocidos con medallas de oro, doble oro en los concursos más importantes del mundo, y todos avalados por la OIB. De tal manera que eso hace que nosotros tengamos vinos con características únicas. Lo bueno del vino es que el vino muestra la identidad de cada zona o de cada país, y eso no es reproducible en ningún otro país más que en esa misma zona, con esas características. Eso hace único a nuestro vino.
Wine enthusiasts in the country hope that Tarija may someday become like California's Napa and Sonoma valleys.
And that's all we have for you on this week's episode and for 2017. We hope you end off the year on a great note and you kick it off with a big bang. From the Trendz travel team, see you next year.